Benjamin Bunny. One morning, young Benjamin Bunny sat on a bank, watching the world go by. Trot, a pony and gig went past. The gig was driven by Mr. McGregor, and beside him sat Mrs. McGregor wearing her best bonnet. As soon as they had passed, little Benjamin Bunny set off with a hop, skip, and a jump to visit his aunt and cousins, who lived in a wood at the back of Mr. McGregor's garden. In the woods, Benjamin almost tumbled over his cousin Peter, who was sitting by himself, wrapped in a red cotton handkerchief. He looked poorly. "What's the matter?" asked Benjamin. "I went to Mr. McGregor's garden yesterday," sniffed Peter. "He chased me away. When I got home, Mama gave me some chamomile tea and put me to bed." Benjamin looked at the red cotton handkerchief. "Where are your clothes?" he asked. "I lost them in Mr. McGregor's garden," said Peter. "Now the scarecrow is wearing them." "Oh, no clothes?" "Let's get them back," said Benjamin. "Mr. and Mrs. McGregor have gone out for the day." Mr. McGregor was wearing her best bonnet. "I hope it rains," said Peter Rabbit. Ta-da! Here, scarecrow, bunnies. Hand in hand, the little rabbits made their way to Mr. McGregor's garden. They jumped up onto his wall and looked down. There was the scarecrow. It was dressed with Peter's coat and shoes, topped with an old tam-o'-shanter belonging to Mr. McGregor. Here, whoa, it's so big. Big tam-o'-shanter and Peter's coat, Peter's shoes. Benjamin climbed down a pear tree and reached the garden softly. Peter fell down head first, but he did not hurt himself because of the soft, newly raked soil. The two little rabbits ran over to the scarecrow. Unfortunately, they left little footmarks all over the garden beds, especially Benjamin, who was wearing clogs. house. Benjamin. Benjamin and Peter rescued Peter Rabbit's clothes. There had been rain during the night. The coat was somewhat shrunk, and there was water in the shoes. Benjamin Bunny tried on the tam-o-shanter, but it was too big for him. It was too big for him. Then Benjamin suggested that they fill the red cotton handkerchief with onions as a present for his aunt. But Peter wanted to go home. He kept hearing noises. Benjamin, on the contrary, was perfectly at home and ate a lettuce leaf. Ta-da! Onion. Little Benjamin said that they couldn't climb the pear tree carrying a lot of vegetables. He led the way boldly to the other end of the garden. As they walked along, Peter dropped the onions. Oops. They landed amongst sunflower pots and frames and tops. Peter and Benjamin scrambled to pick them up, and this is what they saw round the corner. Who is this? Ta-da! Quick as a flash, Benjamin hid himself and Peter and the onions underneath a large basket. The cat got up and stretched herself. Then she came over to sniff at the basket. Perhaps she liked the smell of onions because she sat down on top of the basket. Oh, she liked that onion smell. She stayed there for 5 hours. Whoa! It was dark inside the basket. The smell of onions was terrible. Soon Peter Rabbit and little Benjamin began to cry. Yeah. 5 hours. The cat likes the smell. Smell. At length there was a Peter patter, Peter patter. The cat looked up and saw old Mr. Bouncer walking along the terrace wall. He was smoking a pipe of rabbit tobacco and had a little switch in his hand. He was looking for his son. Where's my son? Here's the switch. Tobacco, rabbit tobacco. Mr. Bouncer had no opinion whatever of cats. He jumped off the wall and landed on the cat. Then he cuffed it and kicked it into the greenhouse. Poor cat. Oops. Oh. Mr. Bouncer locked the greenhouse house door and came back to the basket. He took Benjamin out by the ears, giving him a smack with the switch, which pulled out his nephew Peter. Then Mr. Bouncer picked up the handkerchief of onions, pulled up a fine young lettuce by the root, and marched out of the garden. Ta-da! Wow, a lot of lettuce here. When Mr. McGregor returned, he was puzzled to see that somebody had been walking all over his garden in a pair of clogs, and the footprints were very, very small. Cat in the greenhouse. Also, he could not understand how the cat had managed to shut herself up inside the greenhouse, locking the door from the outside. Like this. When Peter got home, his mother forgave him for being late because he was glad to see that he had found his shoes and coat. And whilst Peter and his sister Cottontail folded up the red cotton handkerchief, Mr. Rabbit strung up the onions and hung them from the kitchen ceiling.